All right, man. Towards the talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. If you don't, hit the thumbs down. YouTube is not paying me, so I do what I want. All right, so scouring across the internet once again, and I came across this clip about a woman talking to a man about being successful. And the way he broke her down and the way he broke this down was magnificent. And I think that I'm going to watch the clip and I'm going to come back and discuss what was said in the clip. Yeah, let's get to this clip, man.
A woman doesn't need a husband to be successful, because I didn't need my husband. I was already successful and up before I had him.
What are you talking about?
You don't need a husband to be successful. Not at all. You don't need
Okay.
a husband to be the queen of a throne.
Look like? What does successful look like, boys?
Happy in your own skin, happy with the person that you are, and love with the person that you are, that you don't have to look for a man to love you because you already love yourself. And that's what I mean by a successful female. Because success can look in any other way.
Is a successful female going to have children?
Yeah, she may have children. She may have children.
So
she may.
Is part of being successful with kids?
Yes, you can be successful with kids. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So how can you be in this, what you just painted out to be successful without being married, and you have a child in this scenario? So without
the child has nothing to do with that scenario.
Children has everything to do with that scenario. So when you said a woman can be successful and not get married, when you add a child to that, she is no longer successful. She is now a single mother. And being a single mother is not success. Single motherhood is failure. A child, a family comprises of a man and a woman, not a woman. If you are a single mother, there is a certain amount of failure. And I'm sorry to say this, but we got to stop this shit. We have to look at life the way it actually is instead of what y'all asses want it to be. For you to sit here and say you could be successful, cool, yes. But when I started asking you different parts of the success and you started adding children, well, if there's no man in the household, if there's no man leading, helping you raise that child, sorry, that is not success. See, if you would have said, oh, a woman can make millions of dollars, not that's success. But there is no success when there's only a mother and not a father in the household, because then you're thinking selfishly. You may feel like you're successful, but does your child think you're successful? Does your child think that they're successful? No, because they didn't have no daddy. And even if the daddy was around, they didn't have a daddy raise them in the same household. There is no success without the intact family. Now, I've admitted in my own life that I have a failed marriage and I spent time with my kids, but I was no longer in the household. See, with all of us, just like what you're saying, you've been through a lot, right? The number one thing we have to do is stop being children and be real with ourselves and say, hey, I do have a certain level of failures in my life. Therefore, I cannot do them again.
See, yeah, that's like in battle rap, you said crazy bars like, that right there was nuts. Listen, I think that he put it in its purest form. And I think that her as a female, she had a plan going into that. And I don't think that she executed it very well. I don't think she did, because I think she had this plan in her head. Because if you look at what she said, I believe that someone told her that. I don't believe that that's what she actually believes. I believe that someone said that. You know what I'm saying? And she went on her life with that. What he said was spot on. You can't get around that. You can't get around that. And I'm not going to shit on her, because she did look like she was listening. She did look like she really took some of his advice, and what he said was the truth. Because I've been saying this for so long. Why do women, and I think that they make this out to be some type of heroic thing. If you're a single mother, that's not what it's supposed to be. You don't supposed to be a single mother. Whether the father's in that baby's life or whether you have a man that's in that baby's life. Two parents is supposed to raise that child. You can't have a successful successful mentality with a child when only one parent raises that child. That child is going to be somewhat broken somewhere. It goes for anybody. Anybody. Going to be broken somewhere. Because you need your mother and you need your father. You don't just need your mother and you don't just need your father. You need both of them. So the point I'm making is, it's always better to have both parents in the house. So this way, the child can see from both sides. Because there's two sides. It's not just one side. And I hate when women do that. I hate when women do that. They glorify being single and they having single parties as if, oh, I'm single. But you got children and your children see this. And especially if you dating multiple men, your children see that. Now and again, you could date whoever you want and you can date multiple men. But you got to understand the ramification that come with that. It's consequences that come with this. When your child sees you with other people, it's the same thing with men. When your child sees you with other people and not their mother, it's consequences that come with that. So I've always been saying this. Single motherhood is not a good thing. And people could say, oh, well, my mom raised me and so what? So what? But it would have been better if your mom and your dad raised you. Not just your mom. Not just say, oh, well, my mom raised me and I'm turned out good. Well, you've been better if your mom and dad raised you. Most people, matter of fact, I would go on record and say maybe 99% of people who are raised by two parents in the household, might be 99% of them are better off as people when it's just either one raising them. Because usually when a female raises their child, the boy or the girl, a lot of times the child asks why the parent wasn't around, and they got a lot of resentment against their dad. So if it's a female who raises their daughter, the daughter, even though the dad might have not did nothing, the dad might have tried to been in the baby's life, and the mom probably blocked it. But the daughter has a resentment against the dad because the daughter's like, well, you wasn't here for me. You wasn't here for my football games, my basketball games. You wasn't here for me. And the dad's probably saying, well, I try to be there. And sometimes saying I try to children or older kids, trying is not good enough. You got to do it because they look at it like, well, you an adult. Adults don't try, adults do. But they got to understand sometimes your hands are tied. So people got to understand. But it should never be that way. It should always be two parents in the household raising their child. Not no weekend dad, not no weekend mom, none of that. It should be that. And if you are dating somebody and it comes down to it and y'all really serious about each other, guess what? He's supposed to stand in and be the father of that child. Or a role model or some type of father figure to that child. That's how it's supposed to be. It can't be, oh, well, they ain't my kids. Just do what you want. I'm just with your mother. No, you're not just with my mother. You with more than you with me and my mother. Either way, Torture Talk, man. Like, share, subscribe to the page. You know what it is.